Hello, how are you? I'm Kayla, and this is Flosstube number 19. I almost said 18, but I'm pretty sure it's 19. The correct number will be in the title if I'm wrong. How are you? I hope you're doing well. It's been a few weeks, but not as long as it's been in between videos for the last few, so I'll count that as a win. I have a finish. I have some progress on current whips that you've already seen, and I have a new start and a new plant start that I'm not really gonna share, but I'll show you the thread for, and a couple little other crafty things that won't take very long. I'm gonna start with life stuff real quick. You can skip a few minutes if you're not interested. I totally understand. So let's see, today is September 19th, which means it's 2 days till my birthday. Yay. And 2 days since my stepson's birthday. He just turned 17, which is like blowing my mind. So me and my husband have been together since he was barely 3. So now I feel quite old. So he's such a great kid, and I am so glad that I get to be his stepmom. And he's 17, and he took his driver's test this morning and he passed. So now we have a licensed driver, which is very exciting. A little nerve-wracking, but also very exciting. Liam and Amy are also doing very well. Liam had his first football game over the weekend and they did not win, but it was really a scrimmage. It was good practice. They didn't win, but you know, he got a good tackle, so that was cool. He tackled the running back right after the ball got passed to him from the quarterback. So it was like very exciting. Let's see what else. This weekend we had a yard sale the same day that he had a game. So me and Liam had to scoot off and do that. What else? I don't even know what we did on Friday, but I feel like we didn't just relax besides school. I don't know. And then Sunday we had church, and then we did a little thrifting, and then Billy and I spent hours catching up on our side business. So we're not fully caught up yet, but we're getting to a good place. So we sell stuff on eBay in case, you know, whatever on the side. My husband also has a full-time job, but a different full-time job, but we do that, you know, for a little extra. And we were pretty behind for a few months and very disorganized. So we kind of spent a lot of time getting things processed and reorganized. And, you know, my brain felt melted by the end of the day, but it was good and necessary. So we're on the right track there. What else is new? Let's see. I finally got my blood work back from back in August. I had gotten part of it, but not all of it with my thyroid issue. I talked about it 2 videos ago. Don't think I brought it up last video, but back in August, I had to get blood work again because I had been taking, it's the generic version of Synthroid, you know, to replace thyroid hormone. And anyway, my TSH numbers back in August were still way too high, so I had to increase my dosage, but that came back really quickly. But the other part of the blood work that they were doing was the antibody test to test if there were antibodies present, because if there were, then that would mean I have Hashimoto's disease, which finally I got that back. It seems like the results came back and then my doctor just didn't call me. Probably just fell through the cracks, but you know, it's kind of annoying, but whatever. So yeah, antibodies were present. So I do have Hashimoto's, which explains why my thyroid decided to stop working. So that's that news, but I mean, it is what it is. I was gonna have to keep taking the thyroid medication pretty much forever anyway. So I just have to continue doing that. And actually this morning I just got a new round of blood work taken to check what my TSH level is. You know, once they get the level right, I don't think I have to get blood work very often, but right now it's been every 6 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What else is new? We're hopeful that our fridge is finally fixed. It's been a saga. I don't even think I brought it up last time because I was trying to remain positive, but it's been like months of the fridge not working. Which is interesting. We had a lot of things go wrong with appliances this year. First, it was the dishwasher broke right around Christmas. Billy was finally able to fix that, thankfully, because he he had to learn how to because, you know, we couldn't get a company to come and fix it. Anyway, and then our hot water heater broke and we needed to replace that. And then our fridge, which is not very old, we only replaced it a few years ago, was freezing up repeatedly. You know, it would freeze up completely, so then you would hear the motor like going crazy. And thankfully things were staying cold, but you know, then we had to take everything out, put it into coolers, defrost it, and you hope that's it, but it kept doing it. We finally got an appliance people to come out. They were very nice, but they didn't fix the problem. They fixed one thing that was maybe contributing, but it did not fix the whole thing. And then we had 3 appointments for them to come back out to continue to fix it, and each time they canceled on us. And then the third time it was like, well, unless you defrost for 24 hours, I'm not coming out. And it's like, okay, I will, but why didn't you tell me to defrost for 24 hours when you were actually in my home? They told me to defrost for 8 hours. So that was a little bit annoying. I was trying really hard to like, just, you know, be very calm and whatever. So anyway, they finally came back out. They took the whole thing apart. They fixed something about the heater in the back tube not being where it's supposed to be, heater wire not being where it's supposed to be. So I'm very hopeful that it's actually fixed because I'm very tired of removing everything from my fridge and having coolers stacked in my very small kitchen and all of that. So cross your fingers for me, please. Okay. And also, side note, if you watch Celeste Creates, which I don't think she watches me, but I watch her, she's been having fridge issues too. So I feel you, girl, because it's a thing. It's annoying. Okay. I'm moving on to cross stitch now. Thank you for listening to me babble for nearly 7 minutes. Okay. So my finish, I actually don't have the pattern here, but it's a little Mill Hill ornament, and this is called, I think, Kitty's Stocking, and this is for Amy for this year. When I showed it last video, I pretty much had all the stitching done, I believe. I just had to do the beading. So that's what I did, and it took longer than 2 hours, by the way. I was putting it off before because I was like, oh, I gotta sit at the dining room table and spend a couple hours to do it because I was afraid the cats were gonna knock over the beads. And I did spend a few hours at the dining room table. I was very slow at the beading though, so I eventually gave up and just moved to the couch and risked it because our dining room chairs are very uncomfortable actually. Anyway, so that's how that looks. And I'm happy to report the kitties did not knock over the beads. They were very good boys. And then it came with a magnet, but I just made a little beaded hanger with the leftover beads from the kit. And I do have that sticky velveteen backing that Mama Loves You GB uses, that she suggested at one point a long time ago in her Flosstube. I did buy some. I just didn't put that on yet, but I still consider it finished because it pretty much is. So yep, that is my finish. Yay! And then what did I spend some time working on? Oh, hold on a second. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so next I was working some more on Froth and Bubble by Long Dog Samplers. This is the cover page. I was so organized and took it out before I started filming. Anyway, and I'm pleased to report that I was wrong last time, and my past self knew more than I thought she did, because I finished the second band. Oops, let me move this thread. Of course, it's in the way. I always have thread in the way. So I finished the second band. When last you saw it, it wasn't fully outlined, and then I fully outlined it and then colored it all in. So I fully finished this band. I'm very excited about that. And then I decided to move on and actually do the outlining of the rest of the piece. So it's not that exciting to look at because it's just straight lines, but I'm going to tell you why it's exciting. Number one, it's a lot of stitching. It took a long time to do all this outlining. Number two, last time I said that my past self didn't know what she was doing and I was going to have to sew more linen onto the bottom in order to be able to finish this piece. And I'm happy to report that last time I was wrong and my past self knew what she was doing, and I don't have to sew more linen onto the bottom. So that's a nice surprise. Way to go, past self. So yeah, I don't have much to say, but I do like how it's looking. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see. I'm sure you can. Okay. So that is Froth and Bubble and where I've gotten to. So what I actually want to do is do the rest of the words next. And then I'll do, you know, the outlining of the bands and everything. Oh, and another thing, I have a planned change because I don't like how, so the words, life is mostly froth and bubble, two things stand like stone, kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. All the words in the first 3 lines are centered, and I love that. The last set of words, courage in your own, is not centered because then they're supposed to have your initials and the date of completion or the year of completion in it. So I am deciding to opt out of the initials and year, and I'm going to center courage in your own on the last line. And then I'll just put my initials and the year in backstitch somewhere inside probably this band. You know, I'll just hide it in like a small little thing. So it'll be there, it'll just be tiny. And I think I'll like that a lot more. So that's my plan change there. So I did already spend time and figure out what I have to change in order to make that happen. So yeah, and then what I did, sorry for the little crinkly bangy thing, is I have a new start. I have been liking the idea of, you know, having a Sunday stitch, although I did work on this a little more than just a Sunday, so whatever. It'll be a Sunday stitch plus whenever I feel like. And I started Prayer of St. Francis by Lizzie Kate. Now there's also another Prayer of St. Francis by My Big Toe Designs, which is beautiful, but I think it's a lot bigger. So I went with the smaller one. I also like I think the wording in that version is just slightly different. This is the wording I'm more familiar or most familiar with. And so I kind of preferred it also for that reason. So I'm not going to subject you to me reading it every time, but I will read it this time, if you don't mind. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. So I've actually liked this ever since I heard it, even before I would have considered myself a Christian, you know, so, and there was a time that I didn't, so, but I still liked this and I still like it now. So that's what I'm doing. I did not do all the colors that were recommended. I think a lot of them recommended, are Weeks Dye Works, and there is a DMC conversion. I kind of went off the DMC conversion and then picked stuff from my stash because I didn't have all of the DMC and didn't want to go out to get it. So if you're interested, that's what it is. I am using 1 Weeks Dye Works, which isn't called for Palomino, but yeah. And I believe this is 32 count. Hold on, I'll tell you, it's actually right here still, good. And this is an 1/8 yard or 32 count Winter Moon. And it looks like I stopped right, yeah, like pretty much in the middle of the word. So I have the first line done and part of the second line done already. And I actually didn't get to work on this yesterday because we were so busy. I didn't stitch it all yesterday. One thing is this dove here, you can see it, and that's about how it looks in person too. It's just not very defined. I actually outlined it with like backstitch with a very light gray, and then decided I didn't like how it looked, so I took it out and I'm just gonna leave it as is. Yeah, that's my new start. Then, let me move this. Then I worked some more on Worthy Brown by Carriage House Samplings, which I haven't touched in a long time. The last time you saw it, I had the border done and then part of the berry bowl done. Basically the basket and the berries were done, but like the leaves and fill-in behind the berries was not done, and the bird and all that. So, and this is on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, 1/2. So now here I have the background filled in with the berry basket and the birdie and this little diamond, which the bottom is satin stitched. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not that good at satin stitching, but I tried. And then this is part of the next motif, which needs, it's like a tulip-y type thing. So it needs its leaves and then the tulip up here. But my plan is to, you know, work upwards from that motif to do this. And then this thing that's in the bird's mouth, this sprig of leaves, and then start working on the bird slowly. So yeah, and I'm using the called for DMC there. Is that all the stitching I have? I think so. Yeah, the only other thing is I'm not going to tell you what I'm starting in 2 days, which is my birthday. Stay tuned. I'll show you then in my next video. But I will show you the threads because, if you want to see them. I did buy these recently. So I've got, some fancy floss, lots of red, some tans, browns, and then the DMC for it as well. So stay tuned and you'll see next time what I decide to start on my birthday. Spoiler, it's not very small. All right. Well, the only things left to show you are not cross stitch, but they are crafty. This is actually something I forgot to take out and show you guys last time. I did start the Froggy Hooker's Pocket, although I'm doing punch needle and not rug hooking. And this is by Not Forgotten Farm. I believe I showed this 2 floss tubes ago when I had purchased the pattern. Yeah, so I started working on it and I stalled out because I needed to buy more of this, which I think is 612. I have bought it. I just need to take it back out and start working some more on it. Gotta say, it's kind of tiring on my arm. It's not a motion I'm very used to. And I think Teresa Kogut, when she punch needles, she uses, instead of a hoop, she uses like she staples her fabric to like a canvas frame, frame for canvas minus the canvas. And I think maybe in future, if I do more punch needle, I'll try that because this keeps getting loose and then I have to retighten it. Here's the wrong side, which I'm actually working from. So it's definitely not perfect, but I'm getting the hang of it slowly. And I just picked my own colors because there wasn't like a color thing that you had to do. The last thing I have to show you guys, second to last thing actually, is I did do some knitting on this shawl, which is called Happy Place by NCL Knits. Oh, this is the designer, Nadia Crétin-Lechen. I don't speak French, I'm sorry. I always feel so self-conscious when I try to pronounce French. So I feel like I'm doing it totally wrong. Anyway, I haven't touched this in a very, very long time, and it's for such a silly reason. I started this last, probably late September, and I barely did anything on it. These are the colors, which are both Madeline Tosh colors. It's fingering weight, merino. I can try to find the bands in a minute, but I think I only got up to here last time, and then I put it away for nearly a year, and it's for such a silly reason. This is English ribbing, also known as fisherman's rib, I believe, and at the time when I put it away, I did not know how to do fisherman's rib. It took a simple YouTube search to figure out how to do it. It's not hard, And for some reason, that day that I decided to put it away, I was not in the mindset of wanting to learn something new, which usually is not a problem for me. So I don't know what my problem was. In any case, I picked it back out, realized what my problem was, went on to YouTube, found Very Pink Knit's video of how she does fisherman's rib, figured it out. It was easy and fine. I love how squishy it is and floofs. So anyway, I did the fisherman rib section, and then this is the garter section. And next I have another stripey section, which I haven't done yet, but it's not gonna be hard. Let me just find the yarn bands so I can tell you the colors if you're interested. Oh, they're not in here. Just kidding, I can't tell you. But it's in my Ravelry. My Ravelry is Kayla Gray, and Kayla, Grayyyy. I think it's 4 Ys. That's my Ravelry. There is a project page. And if you want to know what these colors are called by Madeline Tosh, it's on there for sure. I guess I got rid of the yarn band, sorry. So that's the knitting I've done. Not very much, but some. And then the last thing I have to show you, which is incomplete, but very cute. And this was a joint project with Amy. Amy, do you want to show your doll? All right, Amy's coming. So not this past Sunday, not yesterday, but the week before, we didn't end up going to church because my stomach was hurting. And so we spent some time, Amy and I, looking at so many cute doll pictures, right, Amy? We spent a long time and we got very inspired. And so we decided to try making our own doll, which is really Amy's doll because this is her design. Yeah. I just provided the sewing machine and some pattern making ideas and, you know, helped sew it together, but Amy helped cut it out and you helped turn the limbs right side out, and she did stuffing.
And I stuffed it.
And she stuffed it and made the face.
Yeah.
Now, it's not done yet. We still need to add hair and the outfit and accessories. But do you want to hold it and show it?
So, this is her. I want to give her like a little flower basket once like we do the outfit and the hair. So I feel like that would be really cute.
And she's going to have a dress, right?
Yeah, like a turquoise dress with like a kind of like silvery like waistband.
And what color hair do you want her to have?
Brown.
Brown hair?
Yeah, 'cause I like brown hair.
Well, all right. So that's our last craft, and we did this together.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun looking on Instagram, actually, at all these handmade dolls. They were very inspiring and a lot of fun.
Yeah, and also we saw like these little like vegetables. Was it like monster something?
Yeah, I'll have to look if I can find it because I do follow them on Instagram. And if I find it, I'll put their handle below. If I don't, then sorry. But they do a lot of different kinds, but it was vegetable, but like garden monsters, I think it was called. They were so cute. It was like turnips and cauliflower.
Like I was like this, Mommy, you have to buy it.
It was, we did not buy it. They were sold out and probably wouldn't have bought it anyway because it was probably beyond our price range, but they were really, really adorable. And that's what kind of started us down that rabbit hole.
And if I like making dolls, I want to make one for my daddy.
What are you going to make him?
An elephant.
An elephant, because an elephant is Daddy's favorite animal, right? Yeah. Thanks for showing. Oh, and I also want to show the cheeks. Amy colored the cheeks a little. This is a nose, right, Amy?
Yeah.
I keep looking at it and thinking it's a mouth, but it's a nose and a little cheekies, and then she did a little coloring just to make it like pink and a little green.
Yeah, I don't know why I put that there.
She just did. Just playing around. Yeah. So that's that. Thanks, Amy. You want to take it? Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So that's, I think, all I have to show you. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. It's not the weekend, but I hope you have a good weekend coming up after the rest of this week. And I'll definitely have a new start to show you guys next time, a birthday start. I hope you're excited to see it. I'm excited to start it. So It's going to be a long-term project, of course, like all the rest of my projects are. I'm like slouching. But yeah, so anyway, I'll stop waffling on now, but keep stitching, and I hope you're doing amazing, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!